think we've all experienced something so awesome, so incredible, that it permanently alters what we think is actually possible. And when it comes to filmmaking, there is a movie that'll change the way you see them forever. And that movie is Schindler's List. Schindler's List is like the sun. It's the brightest thing in the sky. It's the most important thing in our solar system. But if you stare at it for 3 hours, you're not going to be able to see things the same way that you used to. However, unlike the sun, Schindler's List was released in the year 1993, in a time before smartphones and when you could still smoke cigarettes in IHOP. It's 3 hours long, black and white, and set in Nazi Germany. I'm gonna stop here because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Ty, I don't want to watch that. That sounds like the worst experience ever. And you kind of have a point there. But you gotta look past all that, okay? Because that's not what the movie is about. No. What the movie's really about is contrast. Contrast is everywhere in every frame. Contrast between lights and shadows. Contrast between good and evil. Contrast between the antagonist and the protagonist. Contrast is conflict. And conflict is what people pay to see.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's meet our main character, Oskar Schindler. He is a businessman who profits off the war and exploits Jewish people for their cheap labor. Granted, he does treat them better than the alternative. And at the beginning, I was thinking, like, is Oskar really a good guy? You know, he's kind of sketchy. But then I meet the antagonist, and in about 10 seconds, I realize that this guy is the devil. And when you compare the two, Oskar really isn't that bad of a guy. And throughout the film, they start working together, and you get to see all kinds of contrast.
What you want is your own sub-camp.
One of the things this movie does really well is make me feel terrible when people die. In a lot of other movies, I don't feel bad when people die. Sometimes I'm like, good. I didn't like that character anyway.
Don't judge me, Cooper.
Schindler's List does not have this problem. No. It really makes you feel terrible when people die, which is awesome. Because only a great movie can make you feel like that. In contrast to scenes that make you feel terrible, there are also scenes that make you feel hopeful and relieved and happy, so it's not all bad. It covers the whole spectrum of human emotions, which is what the art form is all about. So, if you like movies, you gotta watch it. It's the Mount Everest of films. Once you've climbed to the top, you'll look out on the world with a new perspective. Not that I know anything about climbing Everest. I just think maybe that's what someone would think if they did. Anyway, you gotta see it.